Hello, it's John Heaton, and today I'm going to review another classic album from Bob Dylan. This one from 1997, released September 30th, 97, Time Out of Mind. And it was a double album on vinyl at the time, although most of us bought it on CD at the time, of course. First double since Self-Portrait, running 72.5 minutes long, so good value for money. First album of original material for 7 years, Under the Red Sky from 1990 being the last one. And then I'm not sure if it was because he was going through a dry songwriting period or he just wanted a break or a bit of both, but he put out a couple of cover albums, Good As I've Been to You and World Gone Wrong, which didn't set the world alight, but they were quite pleasant. And then it was quite a surprise when 4 years after World Gone Wrong, he came out with this, and produced by Daniel Lanois. I'm going to pronounce his name right. I've been saying Lanois for the last few videos, so sorry about that. I looked up the correct pronunciation, and while we're on the subject, it should be Bernie Taupin, not Topin, who wrote the lyrics for Elton John. So I'm endeavouring to get the pronunciation correct. Sorry about that. Daniel Lanois, who'd produced Oh Mercy to great success and did a great job with this album, although apparently Dylan was a little bit dissatisfied and produced his albums himself from here on in. So here's the back cover. This vinyl I've only just picked up. The CD I had before, so this picture from the CD is not featured on the vinyl. The vinyl has just the track listing here and this picture here and the Columbia label, but it's nice 180 gram vinyl. And then we've got this picture here and here, and again same label. So not a gatefold, but nice double vinyl. So yeah, this is people often talk about it as a trilogy with Love and Theft and Modern Times. I don't know about that, but certainly those three albums were a tremendous return to form, and the albums since have been pretty great. But those three in particular really restored one's faith in Dylan as a top-notch songwriter in his latter years as well as in his glory years. So brilliant. What else can we say? Clinton Heylin called this album like a Lanois CV, meaning it's got his production techniques all over it. He used 2 pedal steel guitars on some tracks. Musicians included Tony Garnier on bass, who tours with Bob to this day, Jim Keltner on several tracks on drums, Brian Blade also on drums, Buck Baxter on guitar, Jim Dickinson on keys. I'm not sure if the musicians are credited on here. I don't think they are, actually. Yes, they are. So Daniel Lanois also on guitar, mandolin, mando guitar, Firebird. Robert Britt, acoustic, Winston Watson, drums. So a lot of people on here, good array of musicians, but a very good continuity on the album sound-wise. No complaints at all. Got to number 10 in the UK, got to number 10 in the US. And the material at the time, I remember people saying this sounds like Bob's last album, as if he's about to die and he's singing these goodbye songs or these sad end-of-life type songs. I suppose there is a bit of a mood to that on a track like Not Dark Yet, for example. But thankfully, here we are 22 years later, and he's still going strong, although he hasn't put out an album of original material for 7 years now. He certainly was. Time Out of Mind was certainly not his last album. Many more gems to follow. And just while I mention it, this album got voted Album of the Year, pipping Flaming Pie by McCartney. What else? We got a couple of outtakes from this album, which featured on the Telltale Signs bootleg series. worth checking out. Red River Shore, Marching to the City. Elvis Costello called this album fantastic. It might be the best he's ever made. Adele had a big hit with Make You Feel My Love, which is a pretty good ballad anyway, and it's not the first time someone's picked up on a Bob Dylan song and made it a big commercial hit. One thinks of Lay Lady Lay and Knocking on Heaven's Door, Mr. Tambourine Man, If Not For You, a string of songs over the years. So album kicks off with Lovesick, which kind of sets the mood for the album. A lot of it, this is a good album to do while you're maybe doing the jigsaw or pottering around the house. You can have it on in the background. It's very relaxing. It's it does reward concentrated listening as well, don't get me wrong, but it's quite nice to have on in the background. And Bob's singing these sad lyrics, or what appear to be sad lyrics. One can never tell if it's autobiographical, of course. But a good opener, and Dirt Road Blues is a fun kind of upbeat number with amusing lyrics and good musicianship. Standing in the Doorway is a bit of a heartbreaker with some good lyrics about you're the one and you left me standing crying in the doorway in the dark land of the sun. Million miles, I tried to get close to you, but I'm still a million miles away from you. Another heartbreaker. And then Trying to Get to Heaven. Well, I guess this was the song people might have been concentrating in on when they said he was about to die. A song like this. Pretty beautiful lyrics. And it reminds me a bit of the song on Modern Times, When the Deal Goes Down. Kind of, you know, I mean, if you take it literally, trying to get into heaven before they close the door. You can't get much more emphatic than that. And lovely lyrics. I was riding in a buggy with Miss Mary Lou. Miss Mary Lou's got a house in Baltimore. I'm just running down the road feeling bad, trying to get to heaven before they close the door. I think it's great. Till I Fell in Love with You, another slow ballad. Really tastefully performed, well sung. Bob's on good vocal form on this album, which he wasn't all the way through the 80s, it has to be said. The production is sympathetic. And then the highlight of the whole album for me comes next, Not Dark Yet. I was born here and I'll die here against my will. People say I'm moving when I'm standing still. Can't even see the murmur of a prayer. It's not dark yet, but it's getting there. And he did a promotional video for this song, which was interesting. He doesn't often do that. Just him and the musicians performing it by and large. But great song, great atmosphere, and one of Bob's great latter-day tracks, and he's done a few. Cold Iron's Bound, I seem to remember seeing a video for this on YouTube as well. It's another very moody song with a moody guitar lick and well performed. Make You Feel My Love is a classic Dylan ballad, similar in style to something like Lenny Bruce, but more romantic lyrically than that one, or maybe a bit reminiscent of Ring Them Bells. Only in that Bob's playing the piano, but I suppose he doesn't often do a straight love song like this. It's quite rare. I guess If Not For You was like that earlier. But as I say, big hit for Adele with that one. Made it a household tune. Can't Wait, another really moody song with great moody lyrics, and then a really mammoth closer to the album, Highlands, with pretty hilarious lyrics about listening to Neil Young, and I got to turn the sound up, and there's always someone trying to tell me to turn it down, and I'm in a restaurant and the waitress comes up to him and he admires her legs and then orders hard-boiled eggs, and then the waitress asks him to draw a picture of her, and he doesn't have his pencil with him, and the lyrics go on like that. Quite silly, I suppose, in one sense, but quite a nice story, and Quentin Dillon delivers it and gets away with it. You can actually imagine him in the cafe flirting with the waitress and listening to Neil Young. So that was the closer, and then after this he'd come up with Love and Theft and Modern Times, both of which are 5-star albums. So this was the beginning of Dylan's latter-day renaissance, and on hopes for a new studio album from him before long. And in the meantime, congratulations on winning the Nobel Prize for Literature. And carry on, Bob. You're doing just fine, and this one is a good one. So thank you for watching. See you next time.